Just a review of what his book was
No,
about.
but this is the problem, you understand? That you think you're Bhagawan?
No.
I don't think I'm Bhagawan, but somebody here used to call himself Bhagawan. You see? And thousands of people believed he was Bhagawan.
Mm.
You see my point? That this is the disease. This is called avidya. The reason we're in this world is we can pretend in this world that I'm Bhagawan. And Devi's job is to teach us that you're not Bhagawan. If anything, you're the servant of Bhagawan, but you yourself are not Bhagawan. And until we learn that, Bhagawan Mahante Ham Tuche, we remain in ignorance. And we cause trouble.
Right.
We fight with people, we kill, we torture, because we think we're Bhagawan. So it said the Lord created this material to enable Christians to learn how to perform yajnas, or sacrifices, for the satisfaction of Vishnu, so that while in the material world they can live comfortably, without anxiety, and after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. That is the whole program for the conditioned soul. By performing yajna, the conditioned souls gradually become Krishna conscious and become godly in all respects. In this present age, the yajna that's recommended, that actually works, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just like when let's say you become a computer engineer, right? It doesn't matter this theory or that theory. What matters is you apply the right theory to solve the problem and get it to work. Otherwise you'll be thrown out of your job, right? You have to be practical, right? So there are many different theories, but when you're in a company and the bottom line is profit, they don't care about so many theories. What they care about is what works, right? So in Kali Yuga, the yajna, or the sacrifice that you can perform, not as Bhagawan, but as the servant of Bhagawan, is Sankirtan Yajna. Just like this weekend, we're going to celebrate the 400th birthday of Sant or Saint Tukaram. Now, Tukaram was an ordinary man. He wasn't educated. He wasn't a Brahmin. He was just an ordinary man in Maharashtra. Right? But he loved Vitala, Panduranga Vitala. Loved Panduranga. He loved Lord Vishnu. And he would always chant the names of Lord Vishnu. And he wrote 4,000 abhangs, poetry, glorifying the Lord. And he would sing with his kartals and everything and get everyone happy. You know who didn't like him? Not the Muslims. They also liked him. The people that didn't like him were the Brahmins.
It was maybe taking away the authority? Or?
No, it's not that. He was making the people happy. See, if you're a Hindu, your greatest enemy is the Brahmin. Not the Sudra, it's the Brahmin. And how is that? Because Brahmins, normally it's not right. The Brahmin is supposed to be the greatest friend, right? But in Kali Yuga, the age we're living in now, the worst enemy of the Hindu is the Brahmin. And it began like this. I'm going to explain something that you've never heard before. If you heard it before, you let me know.
Okay.
How did this false caste system in Hinduism begin? By the way, it's ruining Hinduism. In droves, people are converting to Islam and Christianity and Buddhism and leaving Hinduism. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, in current society it has bad effects, the caste system.
It's had a bad effect all throughout history, not just now. Where did 120 million Muslims come from? They're all Indians. They're all Hindus. Where did they all come from? Some of them were forced, but many of them agreed to be forced because they were mistreated by their own people. And why? Because the original idea of the Varna Ashrama, the division of society according to what? Not according to birth. This is in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter. We're going to come back to this yajna, but I want to explain this. This is a very important point. You want to, listen, I could sit here and lie to you, okay? And give you a bunch of platitudes. But that's not my job. My job is to reveal the truth with Shastric evidence behind it, not my own opinion. If I give you my own opinion, let me tell you, it's not worth 2 paisa, not even 1 paisa. But if I tell you, based on Shastra, what is the truth, then it's not me telling you, it's Krishna himself, or it's the Vedas themselves. Okay? Now it's up to you to decide. You can't be forced, but you have to decide. So in the Bhagavad Gita, 4th chapter, 13th verse, it says, Chaturvanyam maya srishtam guna karma vibhagasaha tasya kartaram apimam vidya kartaram avyayam. According to the 3 modes of material nature and the work associated with them, the 4 divisions of human society are created by me meaning Krishna. And although I am the creator of the system, you should know that I am yet the non-doer, being unchangeable. So, the first 2 lines of this 4th chapter, 13th verse, explain the basis of the divisions of society. Chaturvanyam, Chatur means 4, Varnyam, divisions, Maya Sristva, were created by me, Guna Karma, according to quality, Guna, and Karma, work. Okay. Now, in previous 5,000 years ago, the Kali Yuga, the present age that we're living in, began. When Krishna disappeared, and Maharaj Yudhishthira was the king, the Maharaj Yudhishthira took the renounced order. He was, by the way, he was the king of the whole world. That's why you see pyramids in South America, pyramids in Egypt. You see vestiges of the Vedic tradition all over the world, because he was the king of the whole world at that time. There was one world government at that time, see, and it all came from Bharat. See. Then later on, the Christians falsified history and said it all comes from the Caucasian Aryan invasion of India, subjected to the Vedic timeline and to the Christian timeline that the world started 5,000 years ago, which is all nonsense, right? And the trouble is, because the British had control of education in India for 200 years, they brainwashed all the young Indians to believe that nonsense, right? It's only now, little by little, that brainwashing, after 50 years of independence, is a little bit eroding, and people can understand, wait a minute, Ramayana was written 1.8 million years ago. The Mahabharata is the history of the world from the beginning of creation to 5,000 years ago. And they're saying the world was only created 5,000 years. That's a bunch of nonsense, you see. Anyway, after Maharaj Yudhishthira, then his son, or his grandson, Maharaj Parikshit, took over. Then Maharaj Parikshit was killed by who?
Takshak Naga, I think.
No, that Takshak Naga was, yes, you're right, but Takshak Naga was let's call it a flying snake weapon that resulted from the curse of a Brahmin, a fallen Brahmin whose name is Shringi. He was a fallen Brahmin, say, an unqualified Brahmin. Say. So this Kali Yuga begins by unqualified Brahmin cursing Maharaj Parikshit, who was a saintly king. Now, later on in this Kali Yuga, the Kali means the age of hypocrisy and quarrel. In other words, today you see everyone's cheating and everyone's arguing that they're not cheating. You see this especially in the Congress of the United States, in the Lok Sabha, all these places where you have politicians, they're always arguing that they're not cheating, although they are cheating. You see, that's Kali Yuga. So, the Brahmins in Kali Yuga, first of all, they had the authority and exclusive right of Sanskrit learning, right? So they took advantage of it. In other words, if you were a young Hindu boy, let's say 1,000 years ago, and you were not born in a Brahmin family, you would not be allowed to learn Sanskrit. Do you agree or not?
Yeah, at least I've read that in the history books.
Yes. You would not be allowed. You'd have to be born a Brahmin to learn. So they had this this very rigid control over